Hey guys, welcome back to another chapter. My name is Jessica Robinson. I will be your light worker and light guide today. Thanks for joining me again. I hope you were all burning brightly while we were away. My beautiful visionaries, we are going to be talking about 10 most powerful words that you can include into your language and start making them a part of it. They are in not a super thought out order because remember, we just kind of do things on the fly here. But sorry about that. Wanted to give you those that list that I promised you yesterday because words are very powerful. We've been talking about that. I know a lot of people talk about that. It's becoming more and more apparent these days how powerful our words are, written, thought out, or spoken. One thing I would like to, that kind of, before I give you the list that I kind of ran across yesterday in a masterclass that I was taking. If you have not looked at Mind Movies, you can check that out. It's pretty cool. They give a free masterclass, and they have the option of doing more, but you can learn a lot just from that one. The thought was that everything is created twice, and a lot of people, they know it subconsciously, like yes, of course, but they don't know the power behind it. That everything starts off as a thought and then gets made. So the house that you lived in was thought of before that it was made. So it was created in the mind before it was created, in our version of reality, the outside reality, I should say. It's made inwardly before made outwardly. So we have to guard our thoughts as well as our words. We have to realize that thoughts are just as powerful as words because they will, create something just as much as your mouth will, because that's the beginning of it. Remember, I am is that those 3 simple steps. 3 special steps, that's all you need, yes. I, intention, A, action, manifestation. So I am, it's an easy way to remember it. So, 10 words to get into your vocabulary. And I'm going to save the most powerful for the last, because when you couple these beginning words with these last words, you get something that truly can have the power of manifestation. 10, love. It could be the most thought of as the most powerful word, single word, but love, if you put that into your vocabulary, if you're thinking about it for yourself, you will, kind of have that aura of love around you. And when you have that sort of positivity, then you will attract positivity. So that is a big one. Love. I love you. I love you, all of my visionaries. I love this life. I love my house. I love my family. I love my husband, and my husband loves me. Right? You attract that stuff. I love money. Some people hear that and they're like, "Oh, you shouldn't say that." That is a limiting belief that's keeping you from saying that. Because if you said that about your child, it's fine, but you're not allowed to love money. You should be allowed to love money. Money is something that we made here. It is a created thing of humanity, but we use it to help others. We use it to make sure that we're taken care of because we are supposed to be living a life of abundance, and that, has something to do with money. So you can love money, and you have to think about that. Remember, everything in the universe is repeated. So if you are saying, "Oh gosh, no, you're not supposed to say that," then money is going to hear you, right? It's going to make a duplicate copy. If you are not, loving to money, then it's not going to come your way. It will, you will not be attracting it, you will be repelling it. Number 9. Number 9, or I guess here in sign language. 9, or no, is it here? I think it's here. I'll get it. Number 9, peace. Peace. Peacefulness is something that you can practice. It also goes along with our next one. It will help you to really live more of the next word as well, if you have that peace. And a peace that passes all understanding is something that where you are allowing things, you are letting go. You are not trying to control everything. If you think about sand, when you hold sand tightly, it tends to kind of splurt out everywhere. But when you hold it, just gently in your hand, the majority of it will stay in your hand. It won't just be squeezed out everywhere. So when you have a peace, then you are also telling the universe that I trust in myself. I trust in you, universe, to take care of me. I trust that things will be fine. And you're, again, sending out that positive energy, so you will be attracting positive energy. And you can help yourself do this by, maybe going in 7, 10, 15, 30-day meditation challenge. It will help you become more mindful. It's important to have that meditation time because it allows you to practice. And what happens when we practice? We get better at things. So when we are trying to have that peace that passes all understanding, we are kind of seeing things outside of our body. I am still working on this. And when you are meditating, you kind of are just concentrating on the now. You're concentrating on your breathing. You're concentrating on the small sounds and appreciating, the sounds around you, appreciating, what is going on around you, whether that's negative or positive. Everything has its place in the world. All things have their season. So it's important to have that peace and knowing that, this too shall pass. Having peace that, thank you for doing this, but it's a peacefulness. It's not super elated. It's not super sad. It's just peace with the world. Thank you. It's saying thank you to everything. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to experience this. Thank you for this experience. Because even if we have something that's what we think of as a negative experience, we can still turn that into a positive because all experiences we learn from, whether they're good or bad. We either realize that, oh no, that's not who I am. I realize that now. And then we can be more of who we are meant to be. So having that peace allows us to see things as they are versus how we think they are. And that was a kind of an art lesson. My teachers always tried to tell me to see what's really there, not what you think is there, because our eyes are very deceiving. So having that peace helps that. All right, number 7. Number 7, patience. Patience comes quite easily when we have peace. It is a little bit harder to have patience if we do not have that peace. Can we have it? Yes. Could it be more difficult or could it be easier if we had it? Yes. So patience. And patience is helpful because if we are also saying to ourselves, that, peace, if we're in a moment where we are starting to feel our blood boil, just saying the word peace, patience, it helps us to instill that into our spirit. Because remember, words have power, and we know, and our subconscious knows what that feels like to have that peace and that patience. So as like a parent, if you are, having a preteen like myself, who wants to try you and ask that question, why? Peace, patience. We say to ourselves so that we can have that moment of clarity and, become ourselves again, become our true and highest version of ourselves. Patience. Patience also, it helps us to slow down. Sometimes we speed through things, and we even, teach children and students, how many times have even your parents have told you this, if you go too fast, you're going to have to do it twice because you didn't learn the lesson. And when we don't learn the lesson, we're going to have to learn it again. Right? We're going to have to go through that same stuff. Sometimes we ask ourselves, why does this keep happening to me? Because we haven't learned the lesson yet. Why do I always keep finding these boyfriends or girlfriends that are like this? Because we haven't learned the lesson. We have to slow down, have that patience, right? Sometimes we have to have patience to find our soulmate, find patience, to not keep, getting speeding tickets or something like that, and not keep dropping things on our phone. I'm saying silly stuff, but anything that you bring to mind where it's like, oh, why does this keep happening to me? Slow down, have the patience, learn the lesson. It won't repeat itself. Number six, kindness. Kindness, and that's a big one right now, especially in America here, when we are doing this Black Lives Matters. A lot of this has come because people have forgotten and had not been practicing kindness to each other, because one group, that real thing of racism, one group is thinking that they are better than someone else, and that is not kind. We are all humans. Anthropologists have shown and have, really there's no debate that there is not multiple races. That was a made-up thing in the, 1600s, 1795, is that 1600? Is that 16th century or is it 18th century? I think it's 16th century, 1799. If it's not, correct me in the comments down below. I always get confused about that. But 1795, a European German anthropologist, among other things, biologists, such stuff, he made up this. There are others that wrote papers that even said in the papers that this is a great way to separate and distract them. Because what's really controlling everyone is the money, right? Got to get those Benjamins, baby. But race is a great distraction. And what really should be talking about is education. It should be talking about people's basic needs should be able to be met. I know that sounds super socialist, but if we live in such a modern society, why are some people still without clean water? It's water. It's a basic thing. Why do some people still live on the streets? It's shelter. That's a basic thing. And we shouldn't judge what, based on just an appearance. We've not lived through their path. We don't know the choices that they had to make. Some of them could have been the lesser of two evils and still ended up in some place like that. We don't know. We have to practice kindness and keep that in our mindset, because when we are kind to others, people will be kind to us, because you never know what is on your path in the future, what decisions you'll have to make. And would you want someone to judge you just on a snapshot appearance of what you appear to be that day? No. So kindness. And when you are looking at someone on the street, or looking at someone that looks different than you, remember, first off, they're human. They're the same as you. Another thing that anthropologists have shown that there are more differences between a certain culture, like in, let's say, within African Americans versus Caucasians. Let's pretend the whole race thing really exists. There is more difference between African Americans than when you are basing them on, versus color. You have more differences in the DNA. So, with that being said, it kind of proves that race is a made-up thing. But racism came about from it. And that is not practicing kindness. So whenever you are having that moment where you are about to think about judging someone, kindness. Say it to yourself. And it does make a difference. Goodness. Goodness goes along with kindness. Kindness is kind of an action. Goodness is a way to be and a way to perceive as well. If you have a goodness about you, it's a lot easier to be kind. It's kind of like how peace and patience go together. Is the way kindness and goodness goes together. So if you are one, it's easier to be the other. So those two things you can say to yourself: kindness, goodness, to help you practice being those things, especially during any rallies that you might be going to, because you might have a moment where you are thoroughly angered, and righteously so. But we still have to practice kindness and goodness and patience and peacefulness during these times, because if we want that in the end, it's what we have to show all the way through it. Let's see, 5. We're down to 5 now, I think. If you were counting along, post it below. If I was right, post it below. Faithfulness. Faithfulness is something that where you are sure that you are going. Wow, some of my family just showed up. Hey! Faithfulness is being true to yourself and to those around you, your friends. When they are down and out, you are not going to be that person where they're just like, oh, sorry, I'm going to go over here now because they've got more money and, are more affluent and stuff, so bye! We're not going to do that. No, we're going to be faithful. We're going to stand by our friends. We're going to stand by our convictions as well. Don't be fair-weathered friend in any of those things. You need to be faithful. And also, when you are faithful in those things, because sometimes when talking about faithful to ourselves, things might take a while to happen in our lives, to manifest that we are trying. And if we are not faithful to what we're trying to manifest, then we may give up before it gives us time to do that. It gives us time to bring it to ourselves. And then when we give up, the connection is lost. So faithfulness is a big thing. When you are having that time, when you are struggling, whisper that word to yourself. Give yourself strength. 4, gentleness. Gentleness. I always try to think of my sister when I see this, because she is a kind, gentle soul. And gentleness, you can nudge things. If you think about like a boat, you do not need a lot of strength. You do not need a lot of movement to turn a boat. It takes gentle movements, and you can turn in a whole U-turn. You can do many things with a boat with very gentle movements. And that's the same with people. They don't always need a blast to the face. Sometimes a gentle nudge is more powerful. So when you are in the throes of, maybe an argument with your loved one, repeat that to yourself, because sometimes they just need a gentle nudge. 3, self-control. It goes along with gentleness, and this is one that I have always kind of, I know that in the past I could be very hot-tempered, and I could get emotional. I would let my emotions control me. And having your emotions control you sometimes isn't good, because you don't see things for what they actually are. You're seeing things what you think they are, and you're seeing it through that emotional lens. Having self-control gives you that moment to create that peace, that patience, that kindness, that goodness, that understanding that you need during those times of trial, those times of stress. That is when you need self-control the most. And when you are finding those times, whisper that to yourself. The last two are the most important two. Number 2 is the power of yet. Yet is a word that you can put on things that you have not gotten to, and it won't repel it. It will continue to bring it towards you, because I, may not have conquered my self-control, but I haven't done it yet, which means I will do it, and it will come to me. So it's the power of yet. And finally, number 1, which is what I talked about, the most powerful words that you could say, and you could say these in front of any of them, and create total manifestation, and remember, having patience so that it comes to you, is I am. So say these to yourself as much as possible. I am love, I am peace, I am patience, I am kindness, I am goodness, I am faithfulness, I am gentleness, I am self-control, and I am all of these things, even if they haven't happened yet. So, again, I hope you join me tomorrow for another video, and I hope you all stay burning brightly until then. Bye-bye, all my visionaries.